you would go to the house and eat with the people you worked for that day. So she would get back in time, and now, like I said, I was little and I couldn't remember all this, but I've heard the other ones would say every other day, and I've also heard my mom say every other day she would bake 14 and 15 loaves of bread every other day.
And what would she do with those loaves of bread? Were they for?
Yeah, so you didn't go to the store and buy bread. So that, and then, you know, time you had company or helpers, your bread was, you know, going. So every other day, because there were 6 of us kids.
So how did your family make a living after your father passed away?
Well, my mom kept the farm going for about, I'm going to say 5 years, 4 or 5 years. Also, back then you did get a little, what kind of check? Like a Social Security check. And I do remember mine was $17 a month and things. So, see, she still had 3 of us children at home and things. And then I figure hers was the same as each one of ours. She used that. She also still milked cows, and she sold the milk. We had chickens. She sold those eggs, and then she would rent the fields out. And, you know, the money coming in from the fields. And that's the way she made it until I probably was about 10 years old. We moved to Zanesville. Then she was a cook at the Good Samaritan Hospital. And she worked there for a few years until my last year of high school. And then she got sick. And she moved back here to Waterford for about 1 year. And then a couple years after that, she passed away.
Do you remember what year it was when she passed away?
About 1966.
And do you remember what year you went to Zanesville to live?
It was in the 50s, like 56, 57, someplace in there.
And where did you live when you moved to Zanesville?
Right in town there in Zanesville on Fulton Street.
Who did you live with?
Oh, my mom rented a house there. Mm-hmm.
What is your husband's name?
Okay, my husband's name was Larry Flowers.
And where was he born?
He was born in Athens County, and he had lived in Athens County all of his life.
Do you know his date of birth?
January the 17th of 1944.
And who were his parents?
His parents was Henry Flowers and Dorothy Holbert Flowers.
And how did you meet your husband?
Oh. Well, okay, he was related to my sister's husband, and I can remember Larry and his sisters when we were just small children. I'm talking like 7 or 8 years old. We would go out to his mom's house. I'd go with my sister. Then it was after I was out of school and I went to Columbus to work, and I met him in Columbus. I hadn't seen him for years.
What were you doing in Columbus?
Okay, after I got out of high school, I went and stayed with my sister for a while and got a job there, and I was working there in Columbus.
What sister was it?
Sister Alice, but we called her Susie.
And what kind of work did you do in Columbus?
I worked in a motel there in Columbus. Mm-hmm.
What year did you get married?
We got married in 1963. Yeah.
Where did you get married?
A little place called Renville, Ohio.
Were you married in a church?
No, we was married in a preacher's house.
What was the name of the preacher?
Reverend Benton Smith. Well, the Reverend Benton Smith would not marry us because he did not have license. So up the road from his house was a lady preacher, Reverend Six, and she married us. She came down to his house and married us there.
Now, who attended your wedding?
Well, it was Larry's cousin, Bill Tabler, and Larry's sister, Gladys Flowers. It was just us four.
Did you guys have any children?
Yes, we have 3 children. David Flowers, the second is Stanley Flowers, and the third is Melody Flowers.
When were they born?
David was born in 1964. Stanley was born in 1966, and Melody was born in 1967.
Where did you attend school?
For the first 4 years, I went to school here at Waterford, which is Wolf Creek District, and then after that, I went to Zanesville. Went through the 12th grade there.
What grades did you complete in Zanesville?
Through the 12th grade in Zanesville.
Do you remember what schools that you attended?
The Zanesville High School and the Roosevelt Junior High.
What year did you graduate from high school?
1963.
So what did you do after high school?
I just went to work.
Let's talk a little bit about the Stevens family reunion. Do you know when it began?
Oh. I think, now I may have my dates wrong, but I think we've got an article that was in the paper, and it was 1921. Okay, but also this paper said this was the Stevens annual reunion. So that goes to show you it had been years before that. And also our neighbor lady, which as of right now, she's 94 years old, and when they had the reunion over at my great-grandfather's house, which she was 6 years old, I don't know what year that would have been, but anyway, she attended that at Grandpa James Stevens, and they called him Uncle Bub Stevens.
And where did the reunion used to take place?
Okay, at that year, at Uncle Bub's place, or Grandpa Uncle Bub, it was here at Waterford, Ohio. Then after that, the property that my dad and Mom had on the other end of the farm of Jethro's, they had like a pole barn, just the poles and the...
Okay, repeat what you're saying, sorry.
Okay. Okay. After they had it a few years at Grandpa Uncle Bub's house, then they had it over at my dad's and my mom's place. Well, that was on the other end of the farm that Jethro, Grandpa Jethro, and they had a pole building fixed there, and that's just poles with a roof on it. They had it there until about 1965. Then after that, we had it down at Camp Hervida. And a few years we didn't have it. So I decided I was going to try to go ahead and have another Stevens reunion because we'd had it for years. But at first, years ago, they always had it on the second Thursday. But as people, the families grew up, move away to jobs and everything, then, they couldn't come back to Waterford just for a reunion. They couldn't come back just for a reunion on a Thursday. So then they started, we started having it on Saturday. And it was down at Camp Hervida, and like I said, I went ahead and had it a few years on my own. And then 1990, some of them decided we need to have a committee, and go ahead, and I think that was nice. So then they went ahead and done it. And, I mean, they still got a committee.
How many
Doesn't
years did you do it by yourself?
I'm going to say 8 or 10, something like that.
So the reunion started off being how many days?
You mean how many now? How many days? Okay, used to be, it was only on Saturday. Then Carol Stevens, Eldon Stevens, his set of the Stevens family, we're all related, but his set would have a summer get-together on Labor Day weekend, which is 3 days there, and have the camp and swimming and all that. So Carol and I decided one time we'd put the Stevens gathering to get with the Stevens reunion. So which I told him I thought it would be nice if we would keep the second Saturday of August, and he said okay. So then's when it went from just having it on Saturday to have it on Saturday and Sunday, and we're still having it the whole weekend.
And what do you guys do on Saturday?
Okay, on Saturday it's just like an old-fashioned picnic. More of our older people will come and things, and we have good food, never a year without the good food. And then in the afternoon there's a raffle, and used to be in the evening about 4 o'clock or so we had a hayride. Then after the hayride, we go up on the hill where the swimming pool is. Yeah, we do have swimming all day too. And then they would go up on the hill and have a wiener roast out behind the swimming pool there. And then, like I said, we have like talent shows after that. Anybody wants to get up and sing. And we always have the pinata game for the children. And I think that's about it. Then on Sunday, whoever, the cabins is down there, and whoever wants to rent a cabin, stay there, which some of us comes home, and then back early the next morning. So then on Sunday, we get started. They have a breakfast down there, and we all just donate stuff, bacon, eggs, or whatever there. And so since there's so many, now, and I have a lot of company, which I live just on top of the hill by the camp, I go ahead and have a breakfast at my house for the bunch that stays up here. And that way it makes it a little faster. Then we all have a pasta dinner, and everybody brings a pan of lasagna, spaghettis, or whatever, and the bread, lunch. You know how, hit me on the ankle, when I got in the house that evening, my skin was wrinkled up. I just went like that, scratched it off, not nothing like that. Now, just a place like that, I don't have to go to the doctor to
Come back here.
antibiotics and all that. I go again this
When did you
week.
do that to you?
It's been about a month ago. It didn't bother me at first and things. I didn't wear my big patch because everybody, what happened to your ankles? Time you stop and tell everybody what happened to your ankles. You don't have no time for pictures. I got tickled on that. Okay.
Okay. So what do you guys do on Sunday for the family reunion?
Okay, on Sunday we have a breakfast, and then after breakfast they start with dinner, and after lunch we most generally have lasagnas and garlic bread and different things like that, and all kind of desserts. And at that time the children can go up and swim.